So we have to turn our attention to something we told you in the morning that will be premiering. It's our latest Hotline documentary. Yeah. And it's on health, of course.
All right. So obstetric fistula is by far one of the most devastating of all childbirth injuries, leaving the nursing mothers passing urine and stool uncontrollably.
And in the latest Hotline documentary, Twisted by Birth, which is produced by Beryl and Estina Richter, some of these women live with the condition, sharing their painful experiences and chilling stories with us.
Meet Kuka from Ladayiri, a village in the Wa West district of the Upper West region. Kuka is in her mid-40s. Her condition developed when she went into labor. The labor produced contractions that pushed the baby's head against Kuka's pelvic bone. The soft tissues between the baby's head and the pelvic bone became compressed due to inadequate blood flow. As Kuka reeled through the pain, the delicate tissue in the pelvic area died. This has created a hole between her bladder and vagina. Kuka's labor lasted for 15 hours. The baby died eventually, leaving her with no joy. She has endured 4 surgeries to correct her fistula condition, but that hasn't made a difference. It's a stark reality that on many occasions, women who suffer from this condition are maltreated by their husbands, and in some cases, they lose their marriages. They lose their respect and self-esteem. That was the fate of Abna Meyemeu.
Mene kuna jina ejuma mpano ejuma ya jina ya sabe jina number 2 ina kwa banisa nta banisa no na fe de ba ma no.
My husband and I used to operate a big fishing business where we buy fish from fishermen and sell to processors. But when I got this condition, he took me off from it and asked me to stay home. He later got married to another lady. In fact, I became his enemy. He even stopped giving me money. He forgot I'm the mother of his children.
24-year-old Grace Asieko lives at Mumford near Apam in the central region. She has the worst form of fistula. Grace is suffering from rectovaginal fistula. That's simply a leaking hole created between the rectum and the vagina. Grace has also had her fair share of stigmatization due to the complexity of her case. She narrates some of the traumatic experiences she had had after her second surgery.
First, no more, and then I'm to make toilet in the family by the same day.
When I had the first surgery, I could effortlessly ease through my anus. But now I can't. Anytime I attend nature's call, the feces pass through the hole that has been created as a result of the surgery. Things are very, very difficult for me now. And so I have to resort to begging in order to get money for my upkeep. My mother used to help me, but she can't now because she does not have enough money.
If she has to ease herself, it is always a big deal. I noticed houseflies hovering around her, an indication she has leaked feces.
The feces would pass through the hole that had been created after the surgery. I always feel pains in my waist and lower abdomen whenever I visit the toilet.
According to Dr. Gando, unfortunately some cases are inoperable, and this is very worrying.
There are some that you just see them, you can operate them. With it, it is there. When you look at the woman's pelvis, it's all like a stone. You can't even cut anywhere. So some of them, even the diversion is not that possible because the intestine you have to divert the urine to. You can't create enough space, so it will just be like she'll be leaking both stool and urine when you pass it there, we need to be sure they can contain the urine and feces mixed together for a period of time. So even that one is questionable.
Well, so, you know, you just have to make sure that you stay with us. The full documentary is airing this evening.
Yeah, definitely at 8:30 p.m. and also tomorrow, Tuesday, 26th of June. So make a date. Let's watch this today at 8:30 p.m. this evening and also tomorrow. We'll get in a bit onto your messages, what you've been sending us, but this is still the AM show. We'll get to talk a bit about this. I know that, Roland, this is a story that you are familiar with. We've done stories like this, but we can't go without still talking about it, because the situation still persists.
Yes, I think the last one we talked about, with Justice Bedu had also done from the north right down to the central region. There was a clinic that's there. They dedicate themselves to this. And the nurses there have dedicated themselves to the point where even they go to the community, sometimes as far from Mankasim to Swedro, and go and look at women who are stigmatized just because even after birth they still pass urine, and sometimes have very bad relationship with the husbands. And I have to say that some of the men who also have been described in the same documentary by Richter also would tend to abscond and even renege on their responsibilities to their women. And I feel that as a society we have not done well as far as we're concerned on this subject. Try to make sure we do the education right, try more so to inculcate the habit of making sure that we care for our own. The even more concerned issue is about accessibility to the health facilities specialized that will give them the needed care that is important for the treatment of fistula. I don't know, in other parts of the world it's really not a concern. It's not a health problem in the developed world because readily you're treated, you have the accessibility to the health facility and even the health professional to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And what we want our viewers to do is to make sure that this evening, 8:30 p.m. they stay with the channel and please watch it. And tomorrow is still on at 6:30 p.m. and let us know what you think after watching this insightful documentary that gives you the story about obstetric fistula and the number of, if not hundreds of women of Ghana who go through this, just to make sure that you're also familiarizing yourself with the subject in many respects. But we have a couple of your messages. Before we bring you those messages, you can also get interactive with us. Facebook, JoyNews on TV, and then also you can give us more of your comments through our Twitter handle. Our WhatsApp platform is also available, so give us more of your comments and let us know what you think about this, a phenomenon which we know we've witnessed for hundreds of years in our country. We still seem to be grappling with it as a health system. Well, it's a problem.
It is indeed. And let's read some of your messages. So a lot of you have been sending messages on the various things that we've been doing this morning. We still have some conversations to come. The health minister is a guest on Joy FM's Super Morning Show. We'll bring you that interview on the AM show when it begins at 8 a.m. We'll touch base with Maxwell Agbagba for an update in the ongoing National Science and Maths Quiz. It was quite a contest between St. Thomas Aquinas, I think Anglican as well, and Secondary College. So we'll bring you a bit about how things went down on Saturday. It was quite tight. And then we'll look ahead to what we should expect today. And then, of course, that directive that's been issued by Jubilee House that puts some ban, temporary ban, they say, on foreign travels by ministers, deputy ministers, MMMDCEs, and other state persons. So Kojoyan Singh will have a conversation with a deputy chief of staff this morning. That conversation would also be live. That follows, it follows this statement that was issued, signed by the Chief of Staff. So that conversation is on this morning with us. This one says, this was a message that came a bit earlier when we were talking about this statement that was issued by the U.S. Embassy on illegal Ghanaians in the USA. This one says, I want to let your I guess your viewers understand that most government reps in USA deliberately delay or refuse to cooperate with the USA government to issue travel documents because they don't want their citizens deported and also bear the cost of deportation. It sometimes works as most of the detainees get released without the cooperation of their respective governments. There's also false claims of citizenship, which requires thorough investigation. It's from Kwame Opoku in Kumasi. Thank you very much, Kwame Opoku, for your message. There's also a message from Albert Tete, I think, also known as Billy. Says, most of my friends here in Port Gentil call me JoyNews because of my love for the channel. You guys are doing great. So Mama V, Roland Kojo, but please tell the minority that the Ghana card is good thing for us. They should stop what they're doing. Rather, they should I guess they should tell their members to go and register. Thanks. Billy from Gabon. So Mr. JoyNews, well, we thank you for being our JoyNews in Port Gentil. Thank you so much for watching our show. We thank you very much for your message. Albert Mensah Tete, also known as Billy. Thank you so much. I love reading such messages. One more message and then we'll cross over to Legon to join Maxwell Agbagba. So this one says, government's ban on the appointees' foreign travel is a move in the right direction. Also, shame on to the so-called NDC for trying to put a halt to hold the NIA registration. So Nanado and his government should continue the good work they're doing for Mother Ghana. It's from KL Simon. If you also want to send us a message, please, we're happy to read your message. So keep sending those messages.